Okay. Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans? Welcome to Hogvillenet YouTube. I'm Ty Hudson, the host. Alongside me today is my PIC partner in crime, Otis Kirk from Hogville.net. Otis, how you doing, my man?
Doing good, man. Just hanging in there, working hard.
All right, so we could start off with Saturday, the Arkansas Razorback high school camp. You and I were there. Yeah. I mean, good grief. I was there from 9 until I had to leave to get ready to watch the baseball game so I could do a post-game show on Tuss Talk with Ty. So that was 9 to like 12:30. Otis, you stayed. You stuck around, and you were interviewing kids, just hustling. What Saturday, first off, who stood out to you Saturday? And I know you've already got some articles, by the way. If you guys haven't already, go read on Hogville.net. Otis Kirk's got you covered, but we'll talk about it here. Who were some of the kids that you interviewed and just kind of your takeawaways from that camp?
Let's start out with the young kids. Barry McQuarter and Cody Taylor were two kids going into the 9th grade. They were 8th graders. McQuarter's about 6'4", 280. Cody 6'3", 275. These are 8th grade kids going into the 9th grade. 2025 kid that I really like is Quentin Murphy from Joe T. Robinson, a quarterback. He got offered by the Razorbacks on Saturday. He's got quite a few offers now that he's reporting. I thought it was a good camp. I've been to the ones Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It was by far the biggest one. It's talking about number of prospects there. Some of the ones weren't too big the other days, and they had a lot more prospects at the one Saturday. I mean, you had TJ, from Bryant that's got offered recently. You had, you had some other kids that's been offered. Michael Hawkins got quarterback got out of Plano, got offered. I'm sorry, out of Allen, Texas. Allen, Texas, not Plano. Michael Hawkins, quarterback, 2024 out of Allen, Texas. And then, of course, we talked about that big kid from Alabama, man. He was huge. Listed 6'8", 345. I'm going to tell you this. I saw him Saturday. Then I saw the kid from Georgia, the defensive lineman who committed yesterday. And the kid from Alabama is a lot bigger than that. And that other kid's 6'6", 350. He's not no midget. But this kid from Alabama is just a big kid, 2024. So, yeah, those are some of the ones. It was obviously a very good camp. I really enjoyed it. I love those things because you've got prospects right there. You can choose, see them and stuff. And so it was really good. It's kind of like all the visits that's going on right now. I mean, between camps, official visits and stuff, and then unofficial visits, you're really busy right now with a lot of prospects seeing the Razorbacks this month. June is usually the busiest month of all. And I'm telling you, tomorrow is going to be something else because we've got 2 camps tomorrow. I've got a team camp. Not a team, 7-on-7 camp and then a lineman camp, both tomorrow. A lineman camp and a 7-on-7 camp. And then Friday will be the last camp of the summer, and that's a prospect camp. And that's where invite these prospects to come up. There's going to be some talent that I'm sure. So I'm looking forward to that one as well.
Well, going back to that Saturday camp that you and I were at, you talked about Quentin Murphy, who's 6 foot, about 180 pounds, I believe.
Yeah, I believe 187, maybe something like that. Yeah.
He ran now it was hand timed, obviously. Of course, it wasn't laser time, but he dropped, what was it, a 4.5 240?
4.5 240. Yeah, it was. And they've got about 3 stopwatches, 2 to 3 stopwatches. Yeah. They got 2 minimum, sometimes 3 or 4 on each kid that runs a 40. So you get a pretty accurate time there. You've got that many watches. You don't have like one guy that times extremely fast or whatever, because you've got 3 or 4 people there timing 2 or 3 all the time. So, but yeah, he and we're talking about a kid just left the 9th grade, Ty, going into the 10th grade. I mean, he's got good speed. The colleges are taking notice of him, and Arkansas offered him after the camp. He's reporting 8 offers right now. 7 are Power 5. I'm trying to remember that one school that got in early has no chance at him. There was some smaller school offered him first, and because I don't know if they just thought we'll get in and be the first one to, but I don't remember the school, but it was a smaller school. But the rest of them are all Power 5, like Utah, You know, I mean, those are big schools. You know, all those schools that's offering him are, you're talking Oregons, you're talking Utahs, you're talking schools like that. And then Arkansas just jumped right in there. And by talking to him after the camp, I feel like Arkansas is in a really good spot with that kid. I mean, and one thing you look at 2024, Ty, you got Walker White, quarterback from down in Little Rock Christian. 2025, you got Quentin Murphy. 2026, you got Kane Archer from Greenwood. And we're talking about three of the best quarterbacks in the country, not in Arkansas, but in the country. Yeah. Well, not just in Arkansas, but in the country. You're talking about three of the best young quarterbacks anywhere. And then there was, I mean, it's just they're out there, man. I mean, these kids are getting a lot of attention, and from the Razorbacks and other places. Arkansas's offered all three of those kids. And, I don't remember Arkansas ever offering an eighth grader very many times in Arkansas. And they did Kane Archer this past year, and they weren't even his first offer. Missouri had already offered him, man. Yeah. I mean, now I think he's sitting at about 8 offers right now. I know A&M offered him. I think he's about 8 right now, I believe, on Kane. He didn't come up Saturday. He was going to, and something happened. But yeah, he's in good. I think they're in good place with him and Quentin Murphy both. I think Arkansas is as good as you can be. I mean, you're talking about 4 years, 3 to 4 years out. So, who knows what the situation will be with those kids or with Arkansas by then. But right now, I think you're sitting in a really good spot with those kids.
I found something interesting. Of course, you and I were standing there and talking. We actually got to talk quite a bit with Cody Kennedy. That was cool. For all of you watching, that was my very first, I don't know what you want to call it. I don't call myself press, but like my first exposure to kind of lifting the hood up on Arkansas athletics and getting to be inside that practice facility and on the field. And in front of us is Cody Kennedy, offensive line coach for the Razorbacks. He has his phone sitting on the chair as he's timing these 40s, him and, like you said, 2 other people. He's listening to, like, Led Zeppelin on his phone or CCR, and we're talking about barbecue. Like, that was really cool. I had a blast. And, of course,
it's a relaxed atmosphere at those camps. You see these coaches on game day and press conference and stuff. It's all official, professional. But when you go to a camp, you see these guys – they're humans. I mean, we all look up to these guys and think, man, there's something, but they're just human. They like barbecue. They like music. They're humans. We all forget that. They're not like they're superpowers or something. These are great. And they're really good people when you get to know these people off the job. They're still on their job, but what I'm saying is out of a different atmosphere. Because like I said, you see them on game day, their focus is zeroed in on it. They're zeroed in on it, and that's what their focus is and what it should be. Yeah. But anyway, it was a good experience. And Arkansas right now is really Sam Pittman. It amazes me how quickly Ty, he's turned this thing around at Arkansas. He's turned his program from being basically the laughingstock of the SEC to being a team that everybody respects. I mean, nationally, not just Arkansas. I mean, not just fans here in the state, but because they stayed behind them no matter who the coach is. But they're getting a lot of national respect right now, and they've earned it. It's not that Sam Pittman's, calling these guys up and, hey, we're buddies, please give me some credit. No, I mean, they've earned it. It's 9-4, beat Penn State in a bowl game, beat Texas A&M. You beat LSU. I mean, you beat schools like that and win 9 games. They've had 4 trophy games. They won them all. Do you know what's crazy? Let me give you a quick stat on this. Arkansas won 4 trophy games last year. In the 2 years prior to Sam, they beat A&M for the Texas. They beat Missouri. They beat LSU for the boot, and they won the bowl game, the trophy for the Alabama. That's 4 trophies in 1 year. They won 4 games in 2 years prior to Sam coming here. 4 games, not 4 trophies. They won 4 games, 4 games in 2 years before Sam came here. So that's what I'm talking about. I mean, this guy won as many trophies as they won games last year. I mean, the last 2 years prior to him.
The turnaround's incredible, and you could see it when we were there. And and they ran a pretty good camp from what I could tell. Again, you're way more experienced in that department, with that being my first I've ever seen, but that seemed to be a pretty, those guys were on task and and keeping up, even with the kids that, you know what, a lot of them are not going to get, probably not going to get offered, but they still, ran it like a professional camp, and it was really interesting to see. So real quick, going back to the camp again, of the kids that were there, who exactly got an offer from Arkansas, an official offer?
Okay, Quentin Murphy did, the quarterback at Joe T. The Michael Hawkins, the quarterback at Allen, got an offer, 2024 kid. And then the big lineman we just talked about from Alabama was Jaquan McRoy. It's McRoy, McRoy. I think some people are calling him McCrory, but it's not. It's McRoy. And Jaquan. And I may be mispronouncing his first name. It's a different name. But with him, just call him Mr. Because I'm telling you, he's 6'8", 345, and I'll bet you $1 he may have been 345 when he was born. I think he weighs more than that now. I mean, that was a big kid. Thank God I don't have to feed him. I mean, I bet he was 300 pounds when he was born. That is one big human being, man. I mean, he walked in, and I mean, he's just huge. I mean, huge. And he had, but yeah, Arkansas offered him, and he's going into 11th grade down there in Birmingham at Clay Chalkville High School, Clay-Chalkville High School. And I think that's near Birmingham is what I was told.
Well, I'm a tall 6'2", I don't know, it was tall 6'2", short 6'3", and even walking by me, I'm looking up, and it's like, here's his shadow as it's going across. I mean, he's just so big, man. Going into the 11th grade, right? That's what you said, 11th grade?
Man, he's a man. I mean, in 11th grade, I mean, that kid is going to be, and I mean, he's not exactly the fastest, but then again, I'm not sure offensive lineman has to be a 40-star, 40-yard dash star, because how many times are they going to run 40? Besides, they're downfield blocking 40 yards downfield for the running back. You've already got 40-yard gain, so you're in good shape. If he misses a block, you still got a 40-yard gain. Coaches will take a 40-yard gain anytime they can get it, man. But no, I mean, he's. I was just surprised when we saw him, man. He's just so big, and I mean, we see big kids. There was big kids at that camp. I mean, those two kids we talked about in the 8th grade a while ago, they're 6'3", 275, 6'4", 280. They're not exactly midgets, but they were tiny compared to him. I mean, I saw the kid that committed from Georgia, the defensive lineman, committed yesterday, 6'6", 350. I saw him Sunday, and he's not, I mean, he's 6'6", 350. He's a big human being. He's not as big as that kid from Alabama. No. I mean, it blows your mind you seeing these kids. I mean, something in the water. I don't remember them growing them that big when I was that age. Of course, I weighed 132 pounds when I graduated. You can't tell that by looking at me now. But so all of them look big to me back then. Yeah, I was 132 pounds at graduation day. So, but anyway, there's growing them big now. And the thing about this, with these big kids, it's not like they're not pretty athletic too. I mean, they're obviously not as athletic as Quentin Murphy. They're not going to run a 4.52, but you're talking about some big kids that are going to protect his rear. They're going to be blocking for Quentin. And but no, it just amazes me that they're as athletic as they are at that age, and especially those 8th graders. I mean, it just seemed like they'd be more awkward at that age because you're kind of in a growing spell when you're in 8th, 9th grade. You're 7th, 8th, 9th grade. You're still growing some. And I remember people that was tall back then used to seem like everybody was pretty awkward today. These kids weren't awkward. So I mean, it's trainers, and Bear told me that he's working with a trainer in Georgia. I know Cody Taylor works with people down there. He came from Kansas City. These kids are getting trainers and stuff, and they're redistributing. I'll tell you real quick, when on Bear, Mcquarter, what he did, he went home and redistributed that weight, got a trainer, went on a diet, and I'm telling you, he's heavier than he was. He was just fat. Now he's heavier than he was when he was fat, but he doesn't have an ounce of fat on him. So, I mean, that's the difference. And he redistributed, he redid his body is what he did. And that's what kids are doing nowadays, and that's why you don't see kids out there, the camp, they're legit prospects. You don't see them, with big guts and can't move. Those are the kids that, probably just good players at their school. And they're, as you said, heck, 99% of those kids are not going to get offered by Arkansas out there Saturday, or more than 99%. Really, it doesn't matter. They're all. I think there was 250 there, is what I was told. All 250 learn some things that they can take back to their school, Ty, and use it to make them a better player. Whether it's Duncanville, Greenwood, Cass, whether it's Joe T. Robinson, or it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Clay Chalkville, you can take it to any school, Allen, Texas, any school you want to, and they're all better players because they attended that camp. All of them. If they applied themselves and used what the coaches were telling them and teaching them out there Saturday and last week too.
And talking about Bear McQuarter and Cody Taylor, they were also seem like really good kids too. And they're like you said, they just look good. They have that good football look, that offensive lineman look, and they're just now going into ninth grade. Both of them have very bright futures ahead of themselves. One way or another, they're going to play. I think they're going to possibly play some big time college football.
They will. You were standing next to me when I interviewed both of them, Ty, and you saw how they conducted themselves and how comfortable they were being interviewed. When I was in the 8th grade, they had to put a microphone in front of me. I was I don't know. I mean, these kids are comfortable with at that age, and that's good. That's good, because I'm telling you, some schools don't want you talking to kids that young. It's good that these coaches, at these schools, like, let you interview those kids, because man, they need to be interviewed, because you sooner or later, whether it's you go interview for a job, you interview about a football game or a basketball game, or you're interviewing for a job, you need to have interview skills. I mean, I don't know why coaches hide these kids and say they don't want them talking to the media. Let them talk to them, man. I mean, these kids are in the 8th grade and going into 9th, and they were so comfortable talking to me and stuff. It just amazes me. And then this helps them in life, whether it's a football interview on TV or talking to Ty Hudson or talking to president of Tyson or something. I mean, my job. I mean, if you got good interview skills, you're going to go further in life. It's just, and it has nothing to do with sports, really. I mean, and so I just was impressed with how comfortable they were. And Quentin Murphy was the same way. You weren't there when I talked to Quentin.
No, I wasn't there for Quentin.
Okay, he's 1 year older. He's going into the 10th grade, but it didn't matter. This kid's real comfortable, and it just impresses me how these kids nowadays, most of them that are so comfortable talking to reporters. You get some that are shy, and there's nothing wrong with a kid being shy. I mean, there's adults that are shy, if that's how you are. But it's good when they can open up and do the interviews and stuff. It's really impressive. And all those kids I talked to Saturday were really impressive kids. Not just football players. Obviously, they were. I wouldn't have been talking to them. But they were good football players, too, and good people. Noah Ponce. I talked to Noah after the camp. After the baseball game, I missed him at the camp, the center from Duncanville. I went to the Marriott and called him at the Marriott Hotel down here in Fayetteville, and he was spending the night there. And I had him come down to the lobby, and I interviewed him there for about 5 minutes. Wrote a story today. I mean, there's an impressive kid. He's 2023. Yeah, he's talking to Ivy League school, so obviously I probably dumbed him down a little bit, talking to me, because he's talking. I mean, he's an Ivy League type kid, so I mean, he's obviously very sharp, a lot sharper than I am. But you run into that out there, but I was impressed with how all of them talked. They were all having fun.
Yeah, they were.
I'm like, that's the biggest thing, man. And I try to make these interviews fun. I don't want to get to where they feel like if they say something wrong, I'm gonna jump down their throat, or I'm gonna, you're an idiot. I don't. This is for the kids, man. I mean, it's about the kids. It's not about me. It's not about Ty. It's not about Dudley Dawson. It's about the kids, man, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the way it is with all of us. I do know that, all of us.
And everyone that we talked to, of course, we talked to. Oh my gosh, the 4-star tackle from a year ago, his dad. We talked to him for like a good
Andrew family.
Yeah. Talked to them. It's such a nice family, and of course, Chamblee was there, and we got to see some of the already. We got to see KJ and some other. Jaden Hazelwood walked right by us, and I think he probably is a legit 6'2", 6'3". Yeah, he is. But everyone conducted themselves really professionally, and everyone you interviewed, it was quality content and very well. They did good. They did really good.
That's one thing Sam Pittman is doing, Ty, is he's recruiting good kids. I tweeted that out last week. They're obviously good football players. He wouldn't be offering them a scholarship, but they're also good kids too. Good people.
Good people.
You cut down on your look. Kids change. People change. You know, you can marry somebody and 20 years later it's a different person. I get that. Kids change, but you can lower the chances of having a lot of issues on your campus if you recruit good kids. Yeah, doesn't mean somebody can't go astray when they get away from home, because you never know how somebody's going to react when they get away from home the first time. But you can lower the odds of anything bad happening by simply recruiting good people, and that's what Sam does. And they're obviously there's no point in saying they're good talents, or we know that, or they wouldn't be offered by SEC. School.
Right.
You know, you go out in Fayetteville, on the corner of Fayetteville, and get 25 good kids. If you wanted, just didn't care about talent, you know, you could go down and find some Boy Scouts or something. But these are good talents and good character.
So keeping with recruiting, then talking about Sam Pittman recruiting, high character of athletes, kids with good character, and not only that, but obviously great athletes. How do you feel about the rest of the month of June? Because you said earlier, last time we did this, the last interview we did, you said it was going to be a rocking month of June. Well, they've already got 3 commits this month. They got Ian Jaffrard, I think is how you pronounce his last name. He just committed on the 20th. Christian Ford, who's currently unranked, but I think that's going to change relatively soon, out of McKinney, Texas. And then who's the other one? I'm trying to find it here.
The running back from Florida.
Yeah. Isaiah Gustav. Yeah. How do you feel about the rest of the month of June? They got some more. we got some more. I'm sure we got more on the way. More commits.
Yeah, Kobe's trying to tell us there's going to be a bunch of commitments, man. He's over there telling us about it. But no, they're going to have a good month of June. They've got about 11 kids coming in this weekend for official visits. They've got 3 more camps, actually. I think I've already mentioned those. You had 2 tomorrow and then 1 Friday. But they've got about 11 official visitors coming in this weekend, and they'll get some more commitments, I think, out of that. And there's some private commitments, that they've got that we can't obviously announce. We let the kids announce it, but they're sitting in good shape with recruiting. They're in real good shape. And I will say this, that I don't think this has actually been out there, but they're only taking 1 running back. And Isaiah Auguste was the kid from Florida that we were talking about that committed earlier in June. He's a running back. That's going to be the only running back they take in this class.
I had someone out of the Tuss Talk with Ty Discord that wanted to ask you that about shout out to Pwendell, as he's called in our Discord. He wanted to ask you about how many running backs they were going to take and how you – okay, there you go.
And you'll have about 4 offensive linemen. If they take a 5th one, if some big-time stud wants to come, they'll take a 5th one. I mean, you're not going to turn that down, but 4 offensive linemen, maybe 5. You're talking about those are some numbers there. They're filling up pretty quickly at linebacker. You've still got Brad Spence, that was here 2 weeks ago from Texas, and you've got a kid from linebacker from Oxford that's coming in this weekend. It's a pretty good ball player. Alex Samford is coming in this weekend.
Okay.
And I feel good about him. So they're getting pretty full at linebacker, but it's going to be an interesting. I tell you, a kid I like at receiver. I've had some people ask me about receiver. Joshua Manning is coming in today. Actually, starts his official visit today. My days run together. I'm having to stop and think. It is Tuesday, right? But he's coming in for an official visit, a midweek visit. Joshua Manning. His mother was a basketball player for Gary Blair here, and very good player.
Oh, okay.
And,
so what's his name again? Joshua
Manning. He's 6'2", 6'3", and about 190 pounds. He's from Lee Summit, Missouri. And this kid is big-time player, receiver. He's got Kansas State, Iowa State, Nebraska, Missouri, and Arkansas are his top 5. This will be his 4th official visit. He visited the other schools that I just named, except for Missouri. He goes to Missouri when he leaves here. And it's probably going to come down to Arkansas or Missouri on him, and Arkansas needs to get him. He is a priority recruit, but his name's Joshua Manning. Reminds me a little bit of a guy like Anthony Lucas, a guy like maybe bigger Joe Adams, maybe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, bigger Joe Adams. Yeah, he's that level. This is a kid that's going to be playing in the NFL one of these days if he stays healthy. I mean, he's good. He's real good. I think he's a 4-star, but he's as good as any receiver. I mean, Traylon Burks was a 4-star. So you don't have to be a 5-star to be a great player. This kid's a 4-star, and he is a stud. I'm telling you, man. I don't know if Arkansas will get him, but they've got a good chance since his mother was here. But he is a big-time player. Joshua Manning is the name to remember. And, of course, they like Cole Adams, who was here last weekend. Michael Teese from Tulsa, Booker T. Washington. They're trying to get in for a visit. And so, yeah, they're filling up. They're at 14 public commitments right now, and they're filling up, and they're recruiting away. They're still recruiting hard, and they're going to keep recruiting hard. Sam Pittman never stops recruiting. I actually think Sam Pittman may dream about recruiting, man. We all dream about getting $1 million or some pretty girl or something. He dreams about recruiting, I think, in his sleep.
Well, again, that was definitely – I'm getting that vibe too. Again, nothing that was said.
Lives and breathes it, man. He lives and breathes recruiting.
I mean,
look, man, you've got no X's and O's. But I'm telling you, everybody that coaches in the SEC knows X's and O's. You cannot go out there without the talent and compete on a consistent level because everybody's going to be X's and O's coaches in there. Some are better than others, but it's just like some are better recruiters than others. But everybody that can coach in the SEC knows X's and O's. Now, obviously, some get across better, teach it better, know it more better. But I'm telling you, you got to have the athletes, and he knows that to be a consistent winner, not pull an upset. Anybody can. Every Saturday's a different game, but Sam knows you've got to have the talent, and he believes it. And if you don't get it done as an assistant coach, he'll find somebody that will. I mean, it's just he loves his guys that works for him. They love him, but if you're not getting the job done, you're out the door, and the next one comes in, man.
Yep,
he'll find somebody can get. He'll find a position coach that can get players for that position, and it doesn't matter which position it is. You know, he's been a good job too. People love working for him, man. I've talked to these coaches; they love working for Sam Pittman, Ty Hudson too, but well, they love working for Sam Pittman, man. I mean, they really do. He's a good guy, man. He's a cool dude, but he does put pressure on to recruit well. It's just he knows that's got to be done, or you're not going to win. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Well, they're off to a good start, and like you said, they're at 14 public commits. There are some other commits, but obviously, you know what? Just go to hogville.net, get caught up. All the recruiting and football, whether it's football, basketball, or baseball, they've got you covered. Dudley obviously doing his thing with baseball, Kevin McPherson basketball, and Otis Kirk football. I'm just here flapping my gums on Hogvillenet, but I'm having a blast too. All right, well, I think that's going to do it. Otis and I both have busy days, of course, later today. By the time you guys see this, we'll probably know what's going on with Arkansas baseball, but we've got that. Of course, Dudley's got you covered on Hogville, and Otis has articles to write, and I've got a live show, all sorts of stuff going on, and we're all sorts of busy, but we wouldn't have it any other way.
That's right.
Otis, thanks for coming on and doing this, and
you're welcome, man. We've done it before. We'll do it again. We'll be doing this again, man.
That's right.
Till Ty gets started looking at my ugly face, then we'll quit doing them, man. Till then, we're gonna keep doing them, man.
You're too much, man. All right. Woo pig, and until next time, we'll see you then.
Thank you, man.